Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to film my foundation routine. My foundation routine basically is the same thing all the time, whether I'm doing like a glam look or everyday look. Like usually it stays like within the same concept. So I think it'll cut down like a lot of time in my videos if I don't show my foundation routine. So that's what I'm going to do today. Are you guys ready? Because I'm not. The step one to anybody's foundation routine is to have a good skincare routine. I don't know where I heard this from, but somebody said your makeup only looks good as what's underneath it. That's why you want to have a really good skincare routine. That way your makeup will sit nicely on top of your skin. My skin isn't great, but it's better than it was like when I first started doing makeup, because when I first started doing makeup I really didn't care about skincare or anything. Like I didn't think it was a really big deal because I thought makeup was going to cover it. I mean, like it does, but it didn't always look great. So I started doing a skincare routine and now my skin looks, I think it improved a lot from where it was. Like it looks a lot better. This light is like blinding me, so like whenever I look, oh yeah. So I broke my ring light. So I have to use like the flashlight on the back of my camera and it's like super bright and I can like barely see. Like I look at the camera and then I look away and I can't see shit. So step two, when and this kind of goes into skincare, I guess, but like I like to include it. I like to moisturize before I put on a primer. That way my skin is not dry. So I have two moisturizers that I use like all the time. The first one is this Jergens Natural Glow Face Daily Moisturizer with Sunscreen. So I like to use this. I've been using it for a while and I think it has like tinted my face to where it like kind of matches my body, but it's still a little bit lighter. So yeah, I like to use this before I do my foundation. Before I was using that, I was using the Kiehl's Ultra Face Cream, but the shit is like hella expensive and I got this for Christmas, like I think 2 Christmases ago or 1 Christmas ago, and it still lasts me, but I stopped using it because I'm like almost out and I don't want to use it all out because I don't want to buy another $68 one, you know. So the next step to my foundation routine is primers. Now depending on how I'm feeling that day really depends on what primer I'm using. Like usually, like I usually have texture on my skin, so I like to use a smoothing primer or like a pore minimizing primer. Those two are really like, they really smooth out your skin. But lately I've been using this one, so that's the one I'm gonna be using today. So I just take a little bit of this and I like to focus it. Like I want to put it all over my face, but I really want to focus it in the areas that need to be like smoothed out. So really for me, that's like my chin and my little cheek areas. And I apply it to my forehead. I don't really have texture on my forehead, but I still want to prime it anyway, so my makeup has like something to sit on. Okay, now for foundation, my foundation is like my primer. The way I choose my foundation depends on what I'm looking for that day. So I have a ton of different foundations, but I only like wear like certain ones. So when I want a more glam look, like a full coverage type look, I like to use the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, and this is in the color Warm Nude. If I want more of a glowy look, I use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in 205. And for like a more of an everyday look, this is the foundation that I practically use every day. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is the foundation I'm going to be using today. I was going to use a Pro Glow, but... So the way I apply my foundation is with a beauty blender. I clean it every time before I use it, it's not like perfectly clean, but it's like most of the foundation is off in the first place. That way it doesn't get like clumpy. Your foundation will look so much better if you use a clean beauty blender every time you use it. So I'm just gonna take that and I just pounce this all over my skin. I start like on my cheek area and then I move out. So after I do foundation, I go in with concealer. I have two concealers that I use all the time. The first one is the Maybelline Instant Ager one, and this one is in the color Light. And I have the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Light Medium Honey. But it's like almost the same color as my skin tone, so I don't like to use this if I'm wanting to highlight. And I just kind of put this like from the inner corner of my eye down and then out like that. And then I apply this on my chin like that, down my nose and across on my forehead. And then with the center part of my face, I like to use the Beauty Blender on the foundation side and just blend that out. And then for my under eyes, I like to use the pointy part, the top of it, I don't know. And just blend that out. I like to blend it out first, like in the inner corner and stuff. And then when I'm done, when I get to the outside part, I flip it. And I just use that to blend it out more. Just so it'll all look like uniformed. So when I'm done at blending that out, I do go into setting my face. Now, the powders I use to set my face are the Maybelline Fit Me's. So I like to shake it up like this. Kind of get it out of the container like that. And I take a different sponge. I always use a different sponge for my powders. So I make sure I'm not creasing first. Then I take one of the ends and I dip it into the powder. And I like get the excess powder off, and then I just go in and set my concealer. I go in with 20. And I literally use this to set the rest of my face. I take the other side of the sponge and just pat it in there. And I take a big fluffy brush and just blend all that out. I'm going to go ahead and set this. I like to set my face before I go in with bronzer, contour, highlight, blush, just because I think it looks way more better, especially since I did use a lot of powder, so it kind of looks powdery. But once I put on the spray, it won't look that bad anymore. So I'm going to use this Pacifica Coconut Essence Hydro Mist spray. Now I do apply a lot of this. I don't know if that's like what you're supposed to do or whatever, but I do apply a lot of it. Like I want my face to be like drenched, and then like I let it soak in, and once it's soaked in, it just looks like so while I'm letting it finish settling in, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Forgive me, I know that my outfit should match the extraness of my makeup. Sorry, but yeah, I finished my makeup. This is what the end result look like. I think my skin looks pretty good. But that is it for my foundation routine. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to follow me on my social medias. They'll be all in the description box, and I will see you guys in my next video.